So, Hold the Line is growing a little bit bigger every day. Gaming Bytes is getting a little bit more popular. So, as soon as the cash starts rolling in, I think I'll just build myself a house. Out of money. Gamers! What is up? My name is Vernon, and if you're not familiar, this is Gaming Bytes, where we talk about the biggest gaming stories of the week, starting with the folks over at Respawn decided that what they needed to do was have an interview with games industry to tell us exactly why they didn't add single player into their game Titanfall. Studio head Vince Zampella said, "Single player takes a huge team 6 months to make, and players run through it in 8 minutes. How many people finish the single player game? It's a small percentage." What percentage? Who? Where? What? What percentage of players don't finish the single player portion of the game? And just how small and insignificant is it that you can't add it in your game? Unless you've got numbers to back up your sauce, I'm just going to assume that it's some sort of exaggeration and that you're lying. He goes on to say, "People spend hundreds of hours in multiplayer, but rush through the single player just to get to the multiplayer." Why do game developers even bother opening their mouths? I mean, they had a decent presentation at E3, right? Why sully that by just making grandiose statements that are just based on assumptions? If you're gonna make a choice about the development of your game, what goes into your game, what doesn't go into your game, at least man up and admit what your decision was and how you came to that decision. Don't make an ass of yourself by blaming the gamer, by blaming the customer, because, again, it makes you look like an ass. Instead of saying that players zoom through your game so quickly that it doesn't make sense for you to add single player, say something like, "We put all of our resources into multiplayer because we wanted to redefine the multiplayer experience and give players the best multiplayer they've ever played on any type of game, on any type of console. We want them all to come to our game, and this is why we decided to put all of our stuff towards multiplayer." So instead of saying that we are working very hard to create the best multiplayer experience ever and putting all our manpowers into it, what they're really saying is, we are not adding single player because of you gamers, it's your fault, screw you! And by the way, Respawn, if it takes a player 8 minutes to finish your level with no previous knowledge of said level, you made a shit level. This is what I mean when I say that the gaming industry just cannot take responsibility for its actions, for its decisions. And isn't it just a great example of how screwed up the system is today? See, here's the thing. Video games are entertainment. As game developers, they should be giving us every reason why we should play their form of entertainment over another form of entertainment, not we have to prove to them why we're eligible or worthy enough to play their game. And as long as we're talking about details, let's dive into Dead Rising 3 and its exclusive missions only for Smartglass. Did you know that they were making exclusive levels for the Smartglass app? Yeah! Josh Bridges, who's the executive producer on the game, said, "After you launch the app, it notices that Dead Rising is currently being played. Press a button, and in kicks our phone. It actually skins your phone to be like the phone from the game's universe. You'll get calls from a character that are only on the Smartglass device. If you don't have Smartglass, you won't get calls from that guy, which also means you won't get those missions. His storyline is his own, but intertwines with the main storyline. Without it, you're not losing out on what the story is, but you're getting more out of the game." Great, I'm not losing out on the game, except for if I don't decide to download this app that's being shoved down my throat, I won't get missions that should already be in the main storyline so that I automatically get more out of the game after I buy it. You see how I'm a little bit left out there? Remember the days when you could get more out of the game by playing the game more? And look, I got a smartphone so I could surf porn on the go. I didn't get it so that I could call an airstrike from my phone to my console. And why am I calling it an airstrike anyway? Isn't everyone dead? We're in a zombie apocalypse game. Or is it a walled off section of a big city? No, it's open world, so it will be a country. So here's my question. If you can call it an airstrike, which means that the armed forces are still around, wouldn't the armed forces have rolled around and cleaned up this mess already? And if you can call it an airstrike, that means that the armed forces are still around, which means what's the point of this game? And speaking of Smartglass, Hideo Kojima, and when I said that name, a bunch of you just had a nerdgasm, is considering adding Smartglass and Kinect integration into his Xbox One version of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. In reference to the Smartglass, Kojima stated that he is looking forward to using its capabilities as well as different devices to bring hardcore gameplay to a different kind of media. Let's not forget, if you do get the Smartglass app, you get an extra mission where that sniper chick will walk around naked and then do a backflip into a plate of bacon. So best to get that Smartglass app now rather than later. Mentioning the Kinect, Kojima states that it brings a lot of different capabilities, and I would like to see what I can do with the voice command and gestures. I was never really into Metal Gear Solid as a kid because I just never had the patience for it, but now that I'm older, I kind of want to try it. But for the fans out there, this is a yes or no. Do you think that Metal Gear Solid 5 will be better with Smartglass and Kinect integration? Keep in mind that it's still a rumor at this point, but alas, after 25 years, the most popular franchise of gaming will be potentially chock full of gimmicks. And who knows, if these special features are implemented, but are implemented as optional, maybe I'll even give it a shot. I might even fast forward through those horse riding segments that look so boring. Oh wait. Leave a comment down below. Otherwise, my name is Vernon to it. I hope you enjoyed getting to it. Much love to you all, and I'll see you next time on HoldTheLine.com.